Good morning, beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe before we kick it off. Today, I gotta warn you guys, I'm doing something I haven't done before. I'm spoiling the crap out of a book. So, a lot of you have been following up on my video about Verity, Colleen Hoover, and I'm seeing a lot of people on like Book Talk and Bookstagram asking like, what is this hype? Like, really stop it with the teases. So today, I'm gonna spill it all. If you don't want to know, highly recommend you leave this video right now. If you're in the middle of reading the book, please exit before we begin because you do not want to hear all of these spoilers. If you're one of those people that's already read the book, wants to talk about it, or just wants to know what they're getting into before reading the book, welcome. Let's get started. So, there's been a lot of hype around Verity, and there's been a lot of people just losing their minds and being all over it, but not really telling any reasoning why. Again, we don't want to spoil, so we haven't been saying much. But today, we're diving in. So the book starts with an author. You get to meet her. You know that her life is, I want to say normal. I mean, she's a successful author, but she doesn't do spotlight. She doesn't do social media. So she's just kind of happy in her success, writing. I would describe as mediocre success, if that's like, not in a mean way, but just that she's happy with this level and she doesn't want to be famous. She doesn't want to be like loved by all. She just wants to live her normal life and write books, and they sell great. So that's kind of her status, let's say. That's where she's at. She then gets a call from her agent and there's some interest, and essentially she meets with the husband of a very, very famous author who was recently in an accident and can no longer finish her novel series, but that woman has asked that this author be the one to finish it. So she's a little bit feeling a bit odd, like why would someone this famous want me at this level to write it for her? Most people that read her books don't even know me. So she doesn't know why she's been chosen, but she needs the money. She just finished caring for her dying mother, who unfortunately passed away. She has all the medical bills. And it's just an outrageous amount of money. The husband's just offering her like a wild amount of money to finish his wife's books. You're reading this at first thinking like, oh, the husband wants his wife's work to be finished. So cute. You don't know what the status of the wife is. You just know that she can't finish, but you don't know why. You don't know if she's like handicapped or conscious. Like, you don't know any of that. So essentially what they decide to do is have this young author go into his family home where the wife is. His son is, and he lives, but that's where the wife's office is, and there's notes everywhere, and it's kind of a mess of just creative juices. You know, if you're like a creative person, you know that there'd be sticky notes everywhere, notebooks everywhere. So that's what she walks into, and he tells her, you know, take your time, you can stay here as long as you need to get whatever information is here in order to help you finish the books, and go through her notes to kind of help get in her mindset is kind of the whole thing. Now, up to here, there's no like personal relationships involved, but you do get some information. You find out that the famous author and her husband had two girls who both passed away. They had two daughters who both passed away. Then this wife was in a tragic accident. So this family is kind of like mystery. The young author's thinking like, was it the husband? Like, she wants to know these things. So just giving you guys a bit of context there's mystery starting to fly up, and you kind of get this just uneasy feeling, like there's too much coincidence, you know what I mean? Like once, twice, 3 people injured or dead in the family, little weird. So yeah, so then this is also where you find out that the famous author is there. She's basically in like a coma. They don't really say it, but she's not conscious. She's just laying there paralyzed. The nurse comes in, turns on her TV, massages her feet, blah, blah, blah. The son goes and speaks to her. The husband goes to see her, but she never speaks. So that's the situation of the famous author. You finally get to know that. Then things go dark real quick, to be honest with you. So the younger author, who's, like I said, mediocre success, let's say that, mediocre success, is going through her notes, and she finds essentially what she believes to be kind of like a journal more than notes. And it's essentially just the wife writing down a whole lot of feelings, and she's writing down basically her story with the husband and how when they first met, it was like love at first sight, but also extremely codependent to an unhealthy level. And then she writes about how she found out she was pregnant the first time, which is with her twin girls, and when she found out it was twins. And essentially there's a lot of like postpartum feelings there. Like she's detached from the babies. She's not happy that her husband's so excited about the babies. Like she feels like the attention's taken from her. She feels just a lot of ways. So to me, it gave me like postpartum depression vibes. It might have been like more deep than that, but it feels like maybe it's just that. So again, this is an interesting development, but it doesn't like change any story in any way. So you keep reading. Essentially, the young author basically has to take breaks from reading this journal because it gets so emotionally taxing. Like you're just reading about her like deep depression, her hatred for her unborn kids, the way she hates her husband loving them so much. She misses him. She wants his attention, all of that. And the wife's like ways, the wife's ways of like getting to his attention, like trying to get him like to have sex with her and all these things so that she feels the love and attention that she wants. Then I guess you could kind of fast forward. So the young author is taking breaks when she reads the journal. So this whole time lapse is taking a lot longer than it originally was anticipated. She thought she was gonna go there for like a day or two, but there's so much to go through. So she's now reading this journal. It's been a couple days, let's say, and it's progressing. So you're getting to now her daughters are born. One of them she like loves and is so attached to. The other one she feels like negative feelings for, and that those like depressed, I'd say, feelings are put all on one kid who seems to have, I don't think they actually clarify it if I'm not mistaken. She seems to have some sort of, I don't want to say disability, but some sort of something that isn't fully developed. So the husband is therefore giving that baby way more attention than the other one, but that leads the mom to give the other one way more praise and attention than the one who has a disability and the dad's attention. So it's a bit of an interesting kind of like mix that way. The mom like loves one of the twins, dislikes the other one, and you see them grow up, and that continues. And there's some really challenging scenes. Like, I'm gonna go. We're spoiling. There's a part where they're babies and one is crying, and the mom doesn't even want to like pick her up. It's the one that she obviously doesn't feel, but she wants her to stop crying before she wakes up the perfect baby. And the mom essentially starts to like choke her own infant, which was like, you're reading it and you have to reread it because you're like, this isn't happening. No one, this is like not what happens in life. So scenes like that. And then the husband almost catches her, but she like stops. And so you kind of realize certain things like that, like something's not right in this woman's head. So things go on, and she continues to have these feelings towards that one daughter. She then, they have the son, all of that. So the journal's progressing. We're reading through. They have their younger son. The twins are a little bit older, blah, blah, blah. She still has these feelings towards one of her daughters. She still has that jealousy. That's all still there. In the meantime of this, okay, the young author is still living at the house with the husband and the son, and she's developing relationships with both of them. So the son is a child, right? He's like drawing, and she's just like, anyone who lives with a kid, like, you just love the kid. He's such a sweetheart. Doesn't talk about his sister. She wonders. The dad doesn't talk about his daughters. Wonders. The dad does make a few mentions, like talking about them, how he misses them and whatever, and how his wife used to say that their family had like the worst luck and all of that. So this is also the part of the book, I would say about midway, where things start to get creepy. You start as a reader to think that the wife is lying about her disability, coma, paralyzation. So paralyzation, you know what I mean? So the son hints a few times that his mom told him things, or he talked to his mom, or his mom gave him things, which the young author's like, she what now? And the young author also noticed like the TV was on, then it was off, but there was no one there to turn it on or off for her. So obviously she did it herself. So she's starting to suspect that the wife is in fact faking her situation. Okay, let me just get that. So you're just getting little tits and bits throughout the time where you're starting to think like, this is creepy as fuck, and this house is getting, sorry language, I don't even know if I'm supposed to do that on YouTube, but really creepy, and you're getting like chills, and it's getting like thriller mystery vibes when it didn't start that way at all. And then finally everything just comes really together. Like the husband and the young author get together, they hook up. She reads a part of a novel that is just disgusting. You find out all kinds of things. So basically, let me break this down. The part where their first daughter, the one that the wife was like obsessed with, she was the perfect baby, passes away, is that she had an allergic reaction while she was at a sleepover. They knew she was allergic to nuts, but essentially the story they were told was that the kids went into the pantry when the parents were asleep to get some snacks. It was dark, she grabbed something and ate it, and it had nuts in it, and that is how she passed away. The mom writes in her journal that she knows it was the other daughter that purposefully gave something to the perfect daughter and killed her. So the mom now feels extra resentment towards that daughter. That daughter passed away, obviously devastating. A couple weeks go by. The mom and the kids go out onto the lake. They're like in a boat. My understanding is it's like a canoe type thing. And the boat flips. The mom grabs the son, and then she goes back in for the daughter, but she can't find her. That's the general story, but the journal says that the mom flipped the boat, told the son to hold on, said hold your breath to the son, flipped the boat knowing that that daughter couldn't swim very well. Again, she was disabilities that are kind of like ambiguous, like you don't know if it was her muscles, her body, her like you don't really know what's going on, but you know she can't swim, and the mom flips the boat. She writes that she does it herself in the book, and she writes that she purposely got the son to shore, and then she turned around and didn't run back in for the daughter. She kind of just took a pause and then pretended when people came that she was looking for her daughter and such. So she essentially let her daughter drown, which is just, again, hard to read and disgusting. And so you're at this part. The young author finds this. She now has feelings for the husband who, you know, he and his wife aren't like together. It's not like a weird thing like that. She also suspects that the wife is actually awake. She's seen her move now, like she really feels it. So she's like told the husband that she suspects it. He thinks she's kind of crazy. They kind of argue about that. And then she finds this part of the journal where the mom admits to killing her own daughter. And she essentially can't hide that from the husband, right? So she goes to show him. And this leads to like the end all be all of the story. He runs in the wife's room. He's screaming at her, like, stop faking it, wake up, blah, 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 blah. She finally does wake up and wake up because she's never been asleep. She does admit that she's been faking it. And this is actually where the husband kills his wife for killing their daughter. At this point, and the scene's kind of difficult, but not in the same way as the others, because the young author is actually helping him. It needs to look like she choked by herself. So she's saying make it look like an accident, because she's like, well, this BITCH killed his daughter. I'm sorry, if I was a parent, I'd probably do it too. So you're kind of feeling almost sympathetic towards the husband at this point, and you don't feel so oh my God, he's committing murder. You know what I mean? So that happened. Then there's a flash forward. So I'm gonna skip right now. So you're reading this whole book thinking that the plot twist is that the wife is faking it, thinking that the plot twist is the realities that are in this journal. So you're like, oh my God, so many plot twists. Oh, I felt this coming. I saw that coming. Haha. Thinking you're so smart. Then you get to the fast forward, which is a couple months later. They are living together with his son. They're selling this house. So they come back one last time to just check that everything's gone. The house just holds too many negative memories. Understandable. The girl is also pregnant, by the way. They're having a baby. So you're like, oh, this family is restarting their lives. They're getting past all the trauma that they've been through. Cute. Then she goes to where the wife's room was, where the wife was faking coma. And she finds this hidden compartment under, it seems like it's under the hardwood, under the bed of where the wife was, which is where the son was putting drawings for the wife, and he was hiding things. So the son tells her, this is where we were sharing things because no one else saw it. So she put things in, I take them out, etc. And that's where she finds a letter written by the wife, dedicated to the husband, but she reads it. And it essentially says a whole lot of information. It basically says, I hope you find this one day. I understand that why you felt X, Y, Z. So she explains that she knows that the husband found this journal before the young author came in, before all of this. The husband found this journal and read it. And she says, I know you read it. I know you believed it. That's why you caused the car crash that paralyzed me, or paralyzed. So he drugged his wife, tied her to the chair, and drove the car into a tree. Number one, caused his wife's injuries. Number two, she says, I know it's because you read this journal, you think I killed your daughter, blah, blah, blah. But this journal was a writing exercise. You're supposed to write all of your life through an opposite lens. So her codependence to her husband, they were never codependent. Her negative feelings towards her baby in pregnancy, she never felt that way. She loved them so much. She knows the daughter didn't kill the other daughter. She's just writing it like for fake emotions. Like it was all a writing exercise that another author told her she should do to like get your creative juices flowing. So she writes, she didn't kill the daughter. It was an accident. The other daughter didn't kill that daughter. I know you killed me because you found this, but all of this was not true. So now you find out that the husband killed his wife for fuck all, for nothing, that she never hated the daughter. All of this was essentially for nothing because he just never confronted her about the journal. He assumed, and then he took matters into his own hands, which you can't blame him on some levels, but on other levels, you're like, you're a psychopath. So now, this is the part that's so hard to swallow. The new young author that is now having a baby with this man, that now has just read the truth, knows that he killed his wife, knows that he faked the car accident, which she didn't know before, knows that the daughter's everything, she knows all the truths, and who's pregnant with his baby, says, he could never find this, it'll destroy him. So she flushes the letter and leaves. Like, goes on about their normal lives. I'm getting riled up, guys. She flushes the letter with all the truths, says no one's gonna find it, the son's not gonna find it, the son's gonna go on thinking his mom murdered his sister. Like, it's so mind-boggling. So it's the plot twist of all plot twists. First of all, I've never read a book that was about authors. That in itself was like a little bit of Inception. It was kind of weird, kind of creepy. Then it had like a mystery. They made you think all these horrible things, then they happened, so you were like, I knew it. Then you find out everything you've been reading about is a lie. Like, none of it actually happened. Everything you've been like freaking out over and reading for an hour or more isn't true. So it just shifts your entire perspective. It messes you up. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was messed up. I can't believe this book. So well done. Ow, so well written. Just, oh my god, like Colleen Hoover outdoes herself every time, but this time there are no words. There are none. That's it. That's the spoilers. I gave it to you, told you everything there is to know. And now I gotta go back to my life. I'm just gonna be thinking about this book all day now because I brought it back up. That's how it happens. I don't know about you guys, but if I read a book and it's like so jarring, like It Ends With Us was another one. I didn't sleep for days after It Ends With Us. We can dive into that on another video. But like, it just consumes me. Like, I get consumed by books when I'm reading them. I cannot put them down until I'm done reading them. And then if the story is so jarring, it literally stays with me for days. So that's me. I hope you guys like this video. Obviously, I got super into it. Hope you guys read the book or don't. Let me know. If you have read it, let me know what you think of the spoilers. I purposely don't use names when I give the spoilers, just to leave a little bit of ambiguity when you're reading it, not sure which character is which. I like to do that for me personally. Hope you guys like this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.